Before we die, we must live. This is Poetic Smatic, and this is Dying on My Feet, episode 2. My last piece. That was the hardest piece I've ever written because it felt like I'm writing a suicide letter, and it was disturbing, and I don't know how it came to my mind. Maybe I almost gave up. I almost chickened out of this life, and I didn't want to leave my brothers and my siblings in distress. I wanted them to have light, not to be left in a dilemma. Mama's legacy, because I've tried to write a piece to my mom for years now, since I started poetry, but I've never achieved that goal. So it has been more than 6 years in this journey, and that is the time that it has taken me to write a piece about my mom. So Mama's legacy. These ideas just pop in my mind because maybe something happened to me when I was a child. Something is happening definitely in my life now. I think about the future. That is where I get my inspiration. That's where I get my ideas. And also friends. When I hear stories from my friends and listen to what they're going through, I get ideas on how to write these pieces. Because the world is a mess, and someone has to feel something for it. And the poets did not choose to be poets. They were chosen to be poets. So sometimes this doesn't feel like a blessing, but feels like a curse. So we have to write. We have to write the pain. We have to write the fantasies. We just have to write. Definitely how you feel it as a poet. A poem is about yourself. How do you feel about that poem? Does it touch your soul? If it does achieve that, that is definitely a good poem. If it doesn't, no, poetry is not dying. Poetry will not die soon. Poetry is a mother of art. Yeah, because with poetry you can paint pictures. With poetry you can write songs. With poetry itself is an art. Let me call it a mother art. So poetry is rising, and it's rising quickly. Yes, there is a piece I'm scared to release. It's called Born from Pain. That is definitely how I feel. I poured myself in that piece, and I'm afraid to release it. And not only that one, I have another one called Mirror of Silence, because people see the face, people just see me, but they don't know what's behind the curtains. When the curtains open, they see a poet, but behind the curtains, they don't know what really happens backstage. So I'm afraid to release those two pieces. Because they're good. People suffer because people take advantage of them. They suffer because they can't be bad. They don't reciprocate bad with bad. Actually, when you do bad things to them, they repay you with good things. So definitely that's why they suffer. Just because of being good. This world is messed up, and the bad people always win. I don't know why. Nope, money is not everything, but money is something. Because we need money to get our lives together, to keep going. Yeah, money is not everything, but it's something. I'm not afraid. Yeah. I'm not afraid. The level that I've reached, I better just die on my feet, because there was a time when I was afraid to say things. I was afraid to say that I was depressed. I was afraid to say that I had trauma. I was afraid because of the anxiety. But with these skills of writing, with this gift of writing, I'm not afraid anymore. Because the dreamers stop believing in themselves. You know, the beauty of a dream is when the dreamer believes in themselves and push harder, even if no one is watching, even if no one is willing to give them help. So you are responsible for your dream. Yes, hope is dangerous. Even Satan knows hope is dangerous, because when we have hope, we live. When we have hope, we live. Yeah, hope is like life, because today we don't have something, but we are hoping to get something in a near future. So that means I'll press on, I'll keep on, I'll hang in until the future comes. Yes, we are pretending. We are all pretenders. We all wear masks, smiley faces. We want people to know us different. We don't want to let them in our sad personalities. We don't want to let them in our depressed life. We want them to know the happy person. We want them to know these celebrities. We want them to know this cool person. But deep down, you cry yourself to sleep. So you're pretending, definitely. What is home? Home is a place where you feel safe. It could be a person, it could be a poem, it could be a music, something that makes you feel safe around it. What if I fail? At least I tried. I did my best. Even if the books and history won't recognize that I tried, I will die a happy person. I tried.